If I ever come up here, I just usually do a quick rigging inspection.
So now we've got this storm in front of us, we've got the storm coming in behind us.
And one of the shrouds was just flapping super loose. I don't know, it's kind of scary stuff.
With Hurricane Irma, boats tossed. Here we are at this marina.
Hi, my name's Colin. I used to be a chief engineer on super yachts, but gave it all up to buy a hurricane-damaged Lagoon 450. My friends and I are fixing it up as we go, and are determined to circumnavigate the entire planet. So subscribe if you want some inspiration to live life to the fullest. 20 years from now, you will be more disappointed by the things you didn't do than by the things you did. So what are you waiting for? Since the outbreak of the coronavirus, we had been stranded in Panama with nowhere to go. Lockdown had been lifted slightly, so we had made our way to Playa Banal for some surf. But as we were preparing to cross the Pacific Ocean in the next couple of weeks, we had to make sure the boat was seaworthy and everything was working for us to do the biggest passage of our lives.
So this wind vane problem that we're having, the wind vane is physically operating well. The little vane is spinning and pointing in the right directions and stuff like that. But what's getting relayed to the displays is incorrect. On the gauge we can see it spinning in all sorts of weird directions and stuff. So there's a lapse in the communication somewhere between the wind vane and our displays. I've checked the actual computer unit for it behind the desk here, and I've checked all the connections and stuff, and it looks fine. So I guess the next place to look is up the top of the mast at the actual wind vane. So I'm going to go up there.
Time to go up!
Something not right,
Yeah, it's your arm. More lettuce and less hamburgers.
Unplug it, clean up all the connections, and plug it back in, and then as we sail out of here, we'll see if it's working. It's nice and tight. If I ever come up here, I just usually do a quick rigging inspection. Just do the usual checks for cracks, corrosion, rust, anything like that. These are the shrouds here. These are the lower shrouds. They're leading aft, so we don't have a backstay. That there is the topping lift holding up the boom. All right, Jamie.
In last week's episode, you saw us nearly lose our dinghy in the surf and got rescued by the manager of Selena's hostel. So that night, we wanted to show our appreciation by spending some money at his restaurant, which was literally empty due to the pandemic.
This is literally the first time we've been in a bar or anything like that, a restaurant, in like 3 months. It's a really unusual feeling. So things might start slowly coming back to normal here, but here we are, back in the bars.
Home sweet home.
We even ordered pizza the next night, and man were we excited.
Pizza's gone.
A fun ritual we do every week is to watch the latest episode as a crew before we release it to our Patreons. There is so much work involved in making an episode, from the filming and organising of the footage to the editing and post-production, so it's always a pleasure to sit back and watch the final product with the crew. If anyone's interested in supporting the channel, the link to our Patreon page is in the description below.
So we're just sitting here at the anchorage, everyone's just chilling, doing some editing and stuff, and the squalls just come through. It feels like it's 25, 30, maybe 35 knots. Everything's blowing like crazy, so we're just trying to sort that out real quick. Came out of nowhere. This is what happens in the rainy season here. The anchor seems to be holding, which is great news. I'm glad we're not sailing out in this right now.
I was not too concerned with this storm, as the wind direction was blowing us away from the beach. As we were anchored so close to the sand, if the wind was blowing us towards the beach, I would have been a lot more concerned. There was news that French Polynesia were letting boats into the country, and that it would be no problem for us to clear in there from Panama. So we decided to head to Panama City to do a final provision before setting sail across the biggest ocean in the world.
So the forecast is so the forecast is for the wind to be behind us pretty much the whole way. So let's see what the reality is, because the last few times we've been sailing it has been so wrong. So fingers crossed it's correct this time, but it's not a good start. It's meant to be coming on our starboard quarter right now, and we're close hauled. So not the best start.
How are you?
Happy because I got married. Argentinian herds is not weed.
It's not weed.
Can you put me far away?
Show me the mate.
I know it look gross, but it's really healthy.
What's the pipe for?
The straw is to drink the water, so you just serve
So you
the
carry
water.
this mug around with you all day?
You put it here, and then you just drink it, and you just clean out your stomach. It's better than a
nice.
coffee, but it has the same effect than a coffee.
Oh, that is the sound of the engine turning off. So we must be sailing now. Yeah, it's cool. We just got a message from Brady from SV Dallas saying he watched a couple of episodes. He said really good work, and it reminds him of Dallas back in the day. As you guys probably all know, they were at the top of the game. One of the original sailing channels. Them and Sailing La Vagabond basically inspired all of us to do what we do. So to have met him in Grenada and hang out, and then still keep in contact with him is pretty cool. I think he's been an inspiration for all of us. So I just thought I'd share that with you. Cheers, Brady.
We had heard about a place called Vista Mar Marina, which was just over halfway towards Panama City, so we decided to pull in there to get a decent night's sleep. The marina was very well protected with nice facilities, so we enjoyed spending a little time at the dock for the first time in months.
Parlay Revival, welcome!
Gracias.
Vista Mar is a very affordable marina, located 40 miles southwest of Panama City. Even the dogs love being in this marina.
Let's go for a skate.
There's a lot of colors, I don't know where to go. See a lot of colors, only feeling blue. There's a lot of colors, lost within a haze. Don't rely on others to get you through the maze. The dreams are not the same for me. Standing by the shore while you're on the open sea. Cannot take this anymore. There are a lot of voices drowning in the sea. There's too many voices talking back at me. There are a lot of choices waiting to be made. Too many choices making me afraid. Dreams are not the same for me. Standing by the shore while you're on the open sea. Cannot take this anymore.
It's harder than it looks. Woo! Now we're in the aircon. Businesswoman, Facebook.
No, I'm not doing Facebook, I'm working. Sorry, ¿qué?
That was so sweet. This lady called Lynn, she's a South African lady, and she's got the boat across there. She's been following us for a while on YouTube apparently, and she's staying in a condo here while this whole coronavirus thing is going on. But she came down and she bought us this boerewors, like traditional South African sausage, and also some South African curry powder.
super stoked. Super nice lady, so thank you, Lynn. We'll see you soon. The next day we set sail again for Panama City, but had squalls all around us.
So we're coming up around this corner and now we're coming into storm. So now we've got this storm in front of us, we've got the storm coming in behind us. This storm's kind of catching us, but we're kind of catching the ones in front of us.
Yeah, good.
It's not an ideal situation, but we just got to try and make it work.
Good stretch.
We didn't have far to go, so we weren't too worried.
So far it's not too bad. Sometimes there's no wind in it, it's just rain. So Martina's got her own Instagram, it's called Oceana Martina, and it's about conservation of the oceans mainly. But yeah, go check her Instagram out if you like conservation in the ocean and stuff like that.
All we needed to do was get to Panama City, buy a few last minute provisions, then spend the next 4 weeks at sea sailing to the remote islands of French Polynesia in the middle of the South Pacific. We were both nervous and excited about taking on this passage. The coronavirus had delayed us by a couple of months, but we couldn't believe that the time had actually come. But halfway to Panama City, things started to go horribly wrong.
So we're sailing Panama City and one of the shrouds was just flapping super loose. We've brought the sails down now and we've just done a visual on all the rigging that we can, but I've got no idea what's caused that. The turnbuckles have sort of these locking bolts on them, so it's impossible for them to undo without breaking those bolts. Something serious has happened and I can't figure it out. Pretty demoralizing, to be honest. There's only a few things it can be that can cause it, and one of them is that the whole boat is sort of flexed and that's made the shrouds loose. So we're going to motor all the way there now and reassess it in the morning, but I don't know, it's kind of scary stuff.
Even though I didn't know what had caused the issue, I had a sinking feeling in my heart that something serious had happened, and that this one would not be a quick fix. My fears were confirmed when we arrived in Panama City, and all of a sudden, the future of sailing vessel Parlay seemed very uncertain.
Holy shit! Pretty sure we got struck. The fucking VHF antenna is not there. We've probably lost 75% of our electronics. Roberto just said it's going to cost 30 grand to repair this.